welcome to Layback with Betfair. Joined by the A-team, we're back.
Hello and welcome to another huge edition of Layback with Betfair. We are just storming through the Flemington Spring Carnival at the moment. We've got Champion Stakes Day to preview on Saturday. It's looking like one of the best meets too of the carnival. The two men that are going to help me do that is none other than 𝗃𝗺𝗺𝗃 and the very suave-looking Tom Haylock. Now, for the viewers, or actually more for the listeners, can we just run through this kit here, Tommy?
What do you want to know, mate? It's just a suit. You didn't get the memo?
Who dressed you? Come on, give him a shout out.
𝗪𝗺𝗪𝗵𝗲𝗃.
There we
Okay,
go.
good.
Nice tailored suit. They're very good to me.
Is it an olive green sort of setup? I'm trying to sort of
It's good though. Isn't it?
identify under the lights. It is nice. It's better than this t-shirt I'm
What
wearing.
price are you in Fashions in the Fields?
Better than $1.80.
Yeah.
Firming up
I
this.
back that too.
That'll be another loser for us for the week. Back when Tommy at $1.80 in Fashions of the Field.
He'd be laying that.
He'd
Oh,
stumble
mate.
up on stage and get it all wrong.
I'll put up $1 million liability for that.
Never responsible.
Yeah.
How was Monday? Enjoy the day?
Monday was terrific. Call the card. I got to sit next to the great 𝗃𝗺𝗺𝗃 actually. We had a good day.
Your
up the back.
table was, everyone was laying your table.
We were very lucky we were right at the back because we
Correct.
were causing a bit of
We
mischief.
we did that deliberately.
Yeah,
We said give them the
I'm glad
back
you did.
left corner
100%.
so no one can hear them.
There were some hands firmly in pockets on our table, but there's something great that I've got for what caught my eye a little bit later in the show. Before we get all that though, let's head to the lay-bin for this week. And Tommy, 2 phones over here. This guy actually does operate 2 phones. Never trust someone that has 2 phones on him. Look at Tom here now.
You'd love to know what his second name was.
I don't know what the other one's running, but it's a good segue into your
Yeah.
lay-bin today, mate.
It is. Well, the reason I have 2 phones is because one's with Optus and that's in Leyden. So
Yeah.
that's an easy one. One's with Telstra, one's with Optus. It's really good when you go to the races because sometimes you don't get coverage with a certain supplier. And no matter what, you always get coverage.
You're
So
just ready for
Optus,
everything.
obviously, in the lay-bin.
I didn't realise how many people were on Optus
You didn't?
until
No.
yesterday.
You
And
called
then
me and thought I was the only person on Optus.
I got a WhatsApp Wi-Fi call off Tom Haylock
Yeah.
yesterday, and I didn't know what was happening with my phone.
Is
I'm
it
like,
Tommy?
is this a bum dial? I didn't know you could do that. So there we go. Fair enough. What else we got?
Tomato in the lay-bin generally, but when you order, I like my ham and cheese croissants, and it probably shows. But when you order ham and cheese croissant and it comes with tomato, that's an absolute lay-bin. Tomato ruins everything.
Correct.
In sandwiches and croissants, and they all get soggy and they're like hotter than molten lava. It's ridiculous. So in the lay-bin.
Fair enough. I've got one thing for just a late entry. I'm just laying the carnival thus far for punters. It's been a bloodbath.
For you?
Yes. I don't think I'm the only one in
No,
the
you're
boat.
not.
It's been a bit of a bloodbath thus far. I'm feeling good about today's show, though. I'm feeling good about Champions Day. It's my favourite day of the year to go to as well. So, and to be honest, it's probably the best card I've seen at Flemington for a long time. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but bloodbaths can get in the bin as well, boys.
How have you gone? Had a win?
Well, I've probably been busy enough that I actually haven't had much of a.
Well, that's good.
Actually, I had a sick beat. I always have this try to make that dream result and have like 500 mystery trifectas in the Melbourne Cup, and I had a heap of them, and I've literally run 1, 2, 4 Ash run, and I've been knocked out by 𝗲𝗏 in a $6 trifecta multi. So don't know what it would have paid.
That's not really a sick beat if you have no influence on the result.
Well, it was sick for me. I felt sick after.
Yeah,
it,
that's
so.
right.
What do we make of the Melbourne Cup too before we get into Flemington quickly? I thought it was a fantastic addition.
Just another lay-in, and we talked about this off air.
I'm trying to be positive.
Just remind, no.
He can't help himself.
I thought they overwatered the track, and it's probably an RB directive for the Melbourne Cup. It was warm. I'd rather the track play like it was on Saturday, and even if it was up and in. So it went from hard track, firm, hard to make ground to the complete opposite almost. Obviously, it didn't help Gold Trip, but every horse got around safely, so that's positive.
I thought it played not too bad. Like a horse like
played
the
okay.
horse like the Magstar, they all rolled off the fence, and a 30-1 pop went up 1 or 2 horses off the fence. So it couldn't have been a huge disadvantage. I think it was overplayed a little.
Was better off pace, but if you owned a firm tracker like Fangirl and you lob race 1 and it's a soft 5, almost a soft 6, you're pretty filthy, ain't you? On a 30-degree day.
You're not putting it in the same basket as Indian cricket pitchers, are you?
Doctored.
Same bloke.
He has said doctored a couple of times today.
The Melbourne Cup though, without a flight, one horse, he's probably my favourite horse. So
and the Zara ride.
Great Rice. Yeah, Joe Moreira. Probably not so good, but
Oh,
I don't think he wins either way.
No, I'm not. And to be honest, I think there's way too much emphasis put on Moreira as opposed to the obvious fact that it's a horse that keeps stepping slow.
Yeah,
So if you step slow in good races, too bad, so sad.
If he jumps, he'll be star.
And another, we talk about Zara's right, about 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏 too, young
Yeah,
𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 getting home the goon bag.
They all sort
charades
of
for
followed
third.
each other. That top.
Have we got a run of the week?
No.
Probably nominate one. I'll chat about it later. I've got
Okay.
one.
All right,
We talked about it off here.
That's true. Yeah, I suppose it was okay.
well, before we do that and just start making up segments on the go, let's head to Flemington. We're going to preview the entire card at Flemington. We've got a 9-race card there. Tommy, speaking of the track, it's not a bad segue, and the rail position's unknown at the
I
moment.
think they'll decide after today's racing, Thursday Oaks Day. They'll probably push it out 5 or 6 or something like that. And it should play fine. It gets a bit chopped up, but the track's sort of raced really well. So.
And the weather's good over the next couple of days too, so it just depends what they do from an irrigation perspective, I guess, as well.
Yep.
Race number 1, we'll kick things off, fellas. It is a race 1. It's benchmark 90 over the mile, and it looks a race just completely void of speed. I think there's a little bit of value on offer in this race, Tommy.
Ooh,
I do. How are you sort of seeing it?
Yeah, tactics really important. So Far Flung settled second last start on a leader by a 𝗲𝗏𝗏 Valley track or an advantageous 𝗲𝗏𝗏 Valley track last start. Could be on speed again. Acceleration led and won the Korean Cup in April, but hasn't done a lot of speed outside of that. Typhoon Harmony settled behind Von Hawk last start, but they swap barriers, identically swap barriers. He showed speed previously. Japanese Warrior draws wide. Blinkers off first time, and even Kind Gesture has a little bit, but I've got no idea. There's no out-and-out leaders, so tactics are really important. Von Hawk led last start, but they won't do that again from an inside barrier. Hopefully the fence isn't off. I think he gets his opportunity now. He's got the crossover noseband on. He did so much wrong last start. He jumped too well, and then Jamie tried to restrain him, and he just trapped deep from that barrier. He then went to the lead. Jamie revved him up, and he just overdid it. So the crossover noseband, Reece, I'll ask you about that. That might help him shut his mouth and help him settle a little bit because he does so much wrong. If he puts it all together, he'll blow this field away, and I'm happy to back him. I think he gets the right run, soft draw. Hopefully something crosses him, and he'll be hard to beat.
He is running, is he?
He's running. He didn't get a run on Oaks Day, unfortunately, the $500,000 country race, as Cliff says, the race for bad trainers. But
And he couldn't get a run on it.
He couldn't get a run on it,
So
so
he's going all right.
yeah, first emergency, and they all want to run for the 500,000. So anyway, I really like Von Hawk. I think it's an easier race potentially.
Yeah, look, I don't have a lot of interest, but he probably will lead if he doesn't have a jockey because he still hasn't got a jockey down. So obviously,
Can we do that?
You boys are keeping your cards close to your chest, so it'd be interesting to see if a jockey gets put down before race day.
54 kilos. T. Haylock's just going to miss the weight. I think as
Half
well.
over, no breastplate, maybe. Depends how much he has today.
Russ also has way over.
Going the way how tight those pants are, I don't think any chance. Anyway, no interest to me. I'm really keen to, if there was a market to see when a jockey was put down for this horse, I might get invested in that. But let's go with your value footy. What do you like?
Yeah, well, I'm going through the same race as Von Hawk. I think Typhoon Harmony can be a bet because I think he will find the lead by default in a race that is completely void of speed. No, I just can't have the price discrepancy. You've got so we put up some $23. Von Hawk's $4. Now he was 28 days between runs in that last start at Geelong, and just a touch soft late. Gets 2.5 kilos off Von Hawk from that run. Drops 6 kilos in total. I think he'll be close to peak fitness. Third up here in an open each way sort of price, in an open race each way price. I think I can just dabble here, sort of half a unit each way.
I think I'll be shocked if he beats Von Hawk. If Von Hawk gets a better run, all things being equal. Sequestered early favourite. Interesting horse. Really struggles to run out a strong mile, in my opinion. The soft tempo helps with Barry doesn't. If I was riding him, I'd recommend going back. The way I think he can get 1,600, ride it back from last, suck up and get a split, and he can win. Short sprint sequestered. So
Well, Mick D's riding that one, so you can probably tell that. But
She.
she.
yeah, she. So I said he. She. Yeah, she's just a short sprint. She loomed up, looked all over a winner last start up to 600 metres and just didn't run it out.
You'd love her to draw low.
Yeah, the barrier doesn't help
She'd
her at
probably
all.
have to go a fair way back.
I agree. But she just needs to suck in. I don't think she can work around them.
Yeah.
That's a query for me.
Very
There we
good.
go.
Happy with that.
Happy enough. Yeah, I love
Few
when
whacks.
I love when Tom says, "If I was writing it." I love that one.
If I was riding it, it'd be no chance.
Remember, we're not allowed to have
Not because of
opinions
tactics.
on riding
Riding,
unless you've
correct.
ridden before.
Who said
Yes.
that during the
Oh,
week?
I don't know. I can't remember. Popped up my,
Yeah,
popped up my
I
phone
know.
somewhere.
I know.
Do you?
It was
I
the
don't know.
scorester.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
It was.
It's like people can't support teams. You can't have opinions on your football team if you never played.
Or
Everyone's
umpire.
kicked the football, haven't they?
Yeah.
That counts.
Or umpire.
I've patted a horse.
Oi, look out. I thought that'd get a run.
Yeah, plenty of experts out there. Race number 2 is the listed. It's the Always Welcome Stakes, 1,200 metres. It was run on Cup Day last year. It was won by 𝗃𝗵𝗺𝗃. 𝗃𝗵𝗃 ran second. Cristani ran third. The speed is interesting here now because 𝗪𝗛𝗃𝗃 was in this race, and we saw what tactics Zach Spaney employed him last start, but he's opted for today, which is Oaks Day, to run. So a key speed influence comes out there. So the map, you sort of got Parasol, Rangers, General Bow, Unusual Culture. Look to probably be the speed here up the straight, Tommy.
Changes the race completely.
Yeah.
No 𝗪𝗛𝗃𝗃 about. Obviously, the winner of last start, Spaceball, just got suck run and was right there, right spot, right place. Parasol for me here brings different form. Like a lot of these tie in, and 𝗪𝗛𝗃𝗃, General Bow, It's Our Time, all tie in together. Even Lombardo and Rangers tie in. Lombardo was really good last start. Ran the fastest 10.8.642 of the day and the fastest 1,000 of the meeting on a track that was hard to make ground. Blinkers off. Straight track's a genuine query. His best hasn't been down the straight. 𝗃𝗵𝗺𝗃 was fine last start over 11, 1,200 Sushi's a winning down the straight. Rangers has beaten her the 2 times they've met though. So Tommy 2 play. I'm keen Parasol. Had JVO, 𝗃𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗃 now gets McDonald on. Coming in.
What's that mean?
Oh, he's the best jockey out of those. He's the best jockey in
How
Australia.
much
Top
many
3.
lengths do you have?
Oh, enough to win anyway. Completely penning last start for Parasol. Just got checked at the wrong time, I thought. First time straight, but I think the Espiona Magic Time form's strong enough to win this. And
You made a point with me last week about Godolphin runners deeper into their prep.
correct.
So is there any concern that you have over Parasol? Or is that sort of had that 5-week freshen? Is that enough?
The freshen helps.
Yeah.
As a query for mine, and it's had a couple of probably grand final runs or where they've tried to win good races up in Sydney, but little freshen up, and there's just nothing else for me. They all tie into each other, so she's the obvious. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 is the other one. Now, I think looks like a great straight track horse. Just got a dynamic turn of foot, run really good sectionals last 2 starts, just keeps bombing the start. But these straight races, they don't obviously go too hard, and when the 𝗪𝗻𝗃𝗃 outs can tack on, and the turn of foot can
Not going to be too far away.
can really.
You're not going to be 8 pairs back.
No,
Yeah.
so I'm having something Parasol and 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
Yep, fair enough. Reece, you having a bet in the race?
No, I did just want to touch on. Sorry, how do we pronounce that? Also, Bryce Hayes.
𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. Linker's on first time as well.
Which is an interesting one because sometimes they can mean a horse.
Slower.
Yeah, possibly, but she's had to go back to the trials after her last time. So
I wonder if they put the blinkers on in the barriers then.
yeah, I did watch the jump it, but they were sort of far away from
That's
the
another
and I just watched the
race.
start. To be fair, yeah, that's true. So yeah, look, if she jumps on terms, she's probably over the odds, but you got to sort of risk that. I mean, she's probably in play bet.
It's a big price too. So
Yeah,
you can have a
but she
keen eye.
ties in pretty well. But yeah, that's all I had to say about that race.
I'm a Tommy 2-bet play as well. I'm with 𝗃𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃, who won this race last year. She looks way over the odds, I reckon. Follows a similar preparation to last spring when she won this race second up. First up here, she was in the 𝗚𝗍𝗍 Stakes at Caulfield. That was over 1,100. Drew wide. Mick D had to take his medicine and go back. She did finish 9th of 10, but she got really warm late. Yeah, she was. She ran the second fastest last run of the race. She always takes enormous improvement second up, particularly from a ratings perspective, and she's suited down the straight. So I think she's a good price.
If she ran Tuesday, you'd be more confident. She's 2 from 17 on good tracks. And if it's early on in the day, they might water it. It's going to be warm enough. Might be the right time to try. But the good track was a query for me.
Yep. And then I like It's Our Time too. So we talk about straight track specialists. Got this guy is super down the street. He's always so consistent. So 9 starts, 2 wins and 4 seconds down the straight. He's through the rising fast. That was the race where 𝗪𝗔𝗪 𝗂𝗄𝗃 set up that ridiculous tempo up top and got home second fastest last 100 of the meeting, draws 11, right part of the track. I just think he can figure again. So I'm going to stake those two accordingly for a nice result in race number 2, fellas. Let's go to race 3 now, which is the Amanda Elliott for the 3-year-olds, 1400 metres. Magic Time, one of your faves, Tommy, won the race last year for Graham Begg from Atmosphere and Get Up Girl. It's a challenging 3-year-old race here, isn't it? There's sort of speed drawn out with Don't Hope, Don't Do, Genius, 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏, Miss Aria and Regal Zeus. They're all drawn outside barrier 11. So the favourite, 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗃, who looks pretty promising, is drawn in and has had some sort of barrier issues, particularly last start. So really interesting to see where 𝗲𝗏𝗃 gets to in the run.
Yeah, spot on. I'll let Reese go first and then you can jump in because you're laying one.
Interesting 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗃 of John O'Shea's. I heard him this morning say it's the best horse he's got in his stable. So pretty decent wrap there. He's obviously just got to get over those little barrier matters, and he's drawn 2, so he's going to be second horse in what's a pretty big field. So he's going to be in there a little while, which is probably less than ideal. So he's certainly a risk, and you probably want to see him jump well and then maybe be betting in play. I'm going to go with Snapback. I think he brings what's the best form. He was a good winner first up, albeit on heavy ground, and then he led up the Golden Rose and was swamped late to be only beaten 3 lengths by Militarise. End cap, cylinder, good enough form. And then he was great through the line over 1400, his latest, behind Macarena. He beat He-Man home. He-Man, obviously brilliant the other day. So I think he ties in really well for this type of race, and he gets Mark Zahra, the man of the moment, on. So you're getting closer to nearly double figures for him. I was pretty happy to be on him on an each-way basis.
Can I ask you about 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗃? Did John O'Shea say anything about the barrier minutes?
Didn't hear most of the interview. I literally just caught the part where he said.
Because he just leapt at the wrong time. I'm not taking that as a huge query. I just think it was a one-off because it's not as if he stood there.
I think he was still slow away first.
He was.
Yeah. I know they'll probably do 2 different scenarios. He obviously didn't leap his first up, but he still wasn't brilliant away. And then he has leapt second up. It might not be a big issue for him, and hopefully he gets it right this time. But yeah, I mean, he's going to have another big crowd to deal with. Whether that gets to him as well, I don't know what his reasons are for bounding last time. It might have just been misfortune that he left at the wrong time. But you got James McDonald on, he knows obviously what he's doing. But yeah, like he's going to be in there a while. So if he's a little bit, claustrophobic in there, he's going to be standing a while, and that's just going to make things a little bit worse. You know, the longer he stands in there, the chances are of him sort of popping up in the air. So to take 270 about a horse like that, whereas the race before, 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃, you're getting double figures to take a risk on a mare that misses the start. That's probably a bit better price. But no doubt, obviously, could be easily the best horse to be in the race.
Pretty much everything I've got. I'm laying 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗃 for all the reasons Reese mentioned. He's clearly got ability, but $2.80 drawn inside, lots of speed drawn outside. You've shown at your 2 starts. Began awkwardly on debut, reared second start. If you keep making a habit of that, you keep trying to find excuses for horses like that to win. Sure. And when you're $2.80, I can't get involved with that. So I'm prepared to lay 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗃 in race number 3.
I haven't had a look though. I would say later we get in the carnival for Flemington Cup week, they tend to get right out wide. Would that be right? So there's 2 maybe. A little concern.
It's a concern for Von Hawken first as well.
Yeah, so if we see the first 2 races and they're sort of getting well away from the fence, then you've got to say this horse has got to drift on a day, and you're probably going to get a better price, I'd say.
McDonald's the man for the job.
True.
True. I'm with 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗃. I think that Red Anchor Stakes formed much better than this. It was fantastic there. He worked wide and he just had to get out, and Archer Nacho got the suck run, and I was pretty confident. I've got a big opinion of Archer Nacho. Mahaba's a nice horse. I think that's a better form race than this. I think this is much easier. He opened 310 there, started 420. He'll be 350 on Betfair in an easier race. I'm very bullish. McDonald sticks, Barry too. I'm hoping he jumps. I think he will, and I think he wins. Snapback danger for mine was fencing run last start, and that was that day you needed to be fencing run. So took that run with a little bit of a grain of salt, but clear chance. Pretty bullish. I think he's the best horse in the race.
Fascinating game, isn't it? Because we all agree about his ability.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we've
right.
still
yeah.
got a
We're-
different
None
view
of us are
on-
going to be surprised if he walks in.
Best horse in the race doesn't
Yeah,
often
but-
win, or doesn't win all the time.
Yeah, we've
so.
had a completely opposite bet.
But to take a price like that, as we said, the race before, you've got a horse that can miss a start and you're getting double figures, so you're probably happy to take those double figures.
Was he good enough to miss the start and work around anyway?
Possibly. It depends how much he
right
bombs
part of
it.
the track.
Yeah,
1400
depends how much
metres
he
helps
bombs
too. Yeah. Race number 4. Let's move on. Group 3, Queen Elizabeth Stakes, 2600 metres. Sulcombe won the race last year from Launcies and Captain Envious. Several runners here through the Bendigo Cup, the Moonee Valley Gold Cup. 𝗵𝗺𝗪𝗧𝗧 is the last start winner of the Coombe. 𝗪𝗺𝗃𝗃 is a very interesting runner that comes through some quality Group 1 clear of the class races. So, Tommy, where are you looking here? Where's your sort of form reference? Do you want to go with the class, or do you want to go someone perhaps in a little bit of form, last start winners?
Yeah, well, nice order of the lead. Clearly kicks up and leads. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 might be close, and Port Phillip handy. A lot of drawn wide that go back. So nice order should get a pretty comfortable lead here. You mentioned the Bendigo Cup form. Bunch finished there. I know we saw the winner come out and run really well in the Melbourne Cup. That's a different race and different setup to a Bendigo Cup. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 was good there. Ran fast as 6'4", 200 metres of the race, but meets Launcies 1.5 kilos worse. I'm just risking that as a form reference, and I'm going with the Caulfield Cup form in 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 here. It's top form without a fight. Obviously, won a Melbourne Cup. Gold Trip Superb and a Cox Play. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 was fantastic in the Caulfield Cup, and it ran 5th fastest final 12, 10, 6, 4 of the race behind the 3 horses that ran the Quinella, the trifecta. Western Glow's Gold Trip and Sulcombe, if you don't mind. So that's pretty good sectionals in a Caulfield Cup, 2600 metres suits. Just going with the class and 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.
Yeah, no, I'm completely with him too. If he's ever going to win a race in Australia, this should be it. He's going to get a good run from the gate. He was pretty good in the Caulfield Cup. I think, if you watch it, Sulcombe was probably a length better the last little bit, but he's just come out and ran a bottler in a Melbourne Cup. So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts shorter than what he is right now. 𝗀𝗏𝗋● 460. So Dazzling was probably the eye catcher out of the Moonee Valley Cup, which probably isn't the elite form. But horses like Vow and Declare were somewhat in the market. They certainly weren't long shots in the Melbourne Cup. So she's going quite well. I think she's flying under the radar. Yendel sticks with her. She's going to be a horse that gets back too. So she's going to need a few things to go away. And 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 was a brilliant, this is a horse that got Trainer of the Week through Philip Stokes earlier in one of the episodes for winning a benchmark 70, and here it is 2 starts later, it ran 3rd in the Bendigo Cup, and had a bit of a checkered run in behind
That's
them.
run of the race.
Yeah,
especially
100%.
since he's worse of the weights.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But certainly can't be given without a chance. So yeah, pretty open race, but I think if 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 is as good as the stable thinks, he should be putting this field away, in my opinion.
Yep. I'm going with So Dazzling. I just love the way she finished off in that Moonee Valley Gold Cup. She was pinned away on the fence, blocked for runs at 400. Once clear, she just absolutely savaged the line. So over fastest last 600 metres of the race overall, drawn 11 this time. We're finding the right part of the track. We've spoken a lot about the track today and where you might want to be. Well, she's going to be in that part. So I think she's a really good each way bet. So Dazzling in race 4, but I can certainly respect the 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 form, and it's clearly I think the strongest form line of the race, and
Just never seen him do it.
yeah, absolutely in the right state.
He hasn't really ever even been close much of the prep, really.
There's always been raps on him and prices to back him in all
been
these
well
races. When he came out to the Doncaster,
Yeah,
I
we
think it
spoke
was
about him. I think we
first
all tipped him at nearly 50s and he started 10s.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Didn't win.
No, of course he didn't.
he's a loser. Lay. No, not for me.
It's winning now.
No, not for me. I'll keep him safe for sure. Race number 5 is the Matriarch Stakes. It's a Group 2 for the mares, set weights and penalties over 2,000 metres. A Tissue won the race last year from Steinem and Tokoroungi. Deny Knowledge, Sole Choice and Premise. They looked at clear speed influences in the race here, Tom.
Yeah, Deny Knowledge, if runs to normal pattern, going to be hard to be in front of. Sole Choice, the other speed. I think those two will be right up there. A lot of these tie in through the Yank Stakes and the Tessio. So Amakura was really good in the Yank Stakes. Telasifile came through that run and then obviously met Osmos as well. She means Osmos 3 kilos better. Osmos was very good there on day that was hard to be where Osmos was and needed the run and will improve it, but the weight swing to 𝗲𝗲𝗃, they're hard to marry up. You've got McDonald on Pearl of Ulysses, which is interesting. Beat Mustang Valley last day. I guess McDonald on and got 2.5 kilos better for Mustang Valley. I'm going away from those that all tie into each other, and I'm just going with two mares that I think are pretty classy. Deny Knowledge should be up on speed. I think gives a great account of herself. Did a superb job, finished so close in the Empire Rose in the Caulfield Stakes as well. Both Group 1s back to this grade will be very, very hard to run down, ready to peak. The other one's Steinem, up to a mile in the Coonji, loomed up, was really wide throughout that run home, had to make a long sustained run. I looked the winner at some stage of the race, probably traded favourite on Betfair during the run and just peaked, I thought. Second run 2000 now, ready to fire. So Steinem for me and Deny Knowledge at Tommy Tuplane.
Yeah, I'm keen Steinem too. This is a similar setup, I feel, to 𝗃𝗂𝗃𝗃. If she's not winning or going very close in this type of race, then she's probably not going to win again. This is her type of race. She's been a much stronger grade or prep since her last run at 2000 where you said she peaked. She's been back to the jump outs and jumped out well at a 12-1 at Cranbourne. Johnny knows her really well. She's going to get a good run from 6. She's a terrific each way player. I mean, probably, you can't bet with confidence on her just to win because it has been a little while between drinks with her. But she's definitely got the ability, and if you're playing 1/3, I think she's a load up job. Bet responsibly.
Well, my best result for the day will come in this race. Not my biggest outlay, but my best result for the day, and that's 𝗲𝗲𝗃𝗃. I just think she looks a great bet. So she was unlucky behind 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 Lass in that Tessio that you spoke about, Tommy. Blocked for a run near the 400. It completely stopped her momentum. She had to change path, duck back to the inside, and she was able to pick up again and be really strong through the line to run second, just ahead of Osmos, who you mentioned, and gets a 3 kilo weight swing on her into this race. So drawn 13, we'll get back. We'll find that better part of the track. Ready to peak, ready to run a really big peak figure here, I think, for 𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗃. And what are we getting? Some 750.
Yeah. What do you make of McDonald off and onto the New Zealand horse?
You'd always prefer him on, but
Yeah.
I think sometimes we read too much into jockey changes. We spoke about this last week.
I think a lot of jockeys make the wrong decisions, so
And
it's
how-
not too much.
And often, how far out do they make these calls?
Yeah.
Like this would have been a set play for the New Zealand horse
Yeah.
some time out to come to the matriarch. So he was probably locked into this before 𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗃 was even heading here.
Correct.
We spoke about it for 20 minutes last week about 𝗲𝗏 and Spencer in race 1.
They
And they both got it wrong. Should have opted on Kaiser.
Yeah, what are you doing?
So
Spencer still looked over his
Yeah.
shoulder. No worries.
I think he was surprised he was one off the fence. I
yeah,
don't think he'd ever been there before. He's, geez, what's this like?
yeah.
It's no wind.
We're not putting on the 4 kilo claimer from 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃. It's 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃, so let's not stress. That's how I'm playing it, right, fellas, anyway. Race number 6, the Group 1 champion sprint, weight for age, 1,200 metres. Just going to put it out there, it's the best race of the carnival.
It's a very good race.
It's the one I'm looking forward to the most. 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 in secret. I reckon it's almost a head-to-head match race.
Yeah.
But in saying that, it was a boil over in last year's edition. We would have said this about Nature Strip, but obviously Rockin' Horse won at a huge price from Nature Strip and Baller. I'm just going to throw it straight to you, Tommy. Give us your rundown.
Oh, I might be crazy here.
You are.
Yeah.
All of the,
You don't have to convince us.
it's a fascinating race because they all tie in one way or another through 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃, a lot of them. So 𝗪𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃, 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃 in the Sydney Stakes, they're around the trifecta there. 𝗪𝗏𝗃 ties into 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃, who got beaten by 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃 last start. 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃 then came out and won the Giga Kick, beating the Everest horses. So they all kind of tie in, funnily enough. One that's a huge price that does tie in, that was very good last start, is Airman. And I'm having a peanut on him because he obviously ran second. 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃 is clearly comes out on top no matter which way you look at the form lines. Straight track, first time, $1.90. I'd rather see her than take that. She's clearly on top for me. But just Airman obviously beat 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃 last start, was wide in that Sydney Stakes. He's a horse that's on the up. He's got a really sharp turn of foot when he's ridden cold. I think he'll get a decent tempo, ridden cold. I think straight track will suit him, and you're getting $30 on Betfair. I just want a peanut on him each way or the place or something like that. Depends how I'm going.
It's a Tom Halett peanut.
Depends.
2.5 units.
Depends how I'm going. So
Could be a cashew black.
they all tie in. Obviously 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃 beat Private Eye, who beat In Secret. I know In Secret's a bomb straight track horse. but they're all kind of intertwined. Airman's the horse in the up. What's he won 5 from 7, and
Can't knock him really.
getting 30s. Just
Um.
Am I crazy?
Oh no, I've probably seen worse bets by you. To be fair.
I think you're crazy, but you can never ever pot anyone for tipping a $30 shot.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
I
Well,
mean,
considering it's a winning
I'm not
machine.
I'm not going to back it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and put holes.
At least it hasn't
through
got duck eggs next to its name either. Like it's been in good
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
That was an enormous run last night.
Yeah. I think realistically, if they all turn up to their best, she just wins.
Yeah.
I mean, I reckon if we go back to the start of the prep, we would be saying, 𝗵𝗺𝗪𝗃, she's probably going to be a better Flemington horse than she is a Moonee Valley horse. But now it's just turned into a bomb around Moonee Valley, and now we're like, oh, maybe first hunt the straight, this might bring her undone, which it might well do. But she is by far rated the best horse in the race, and I think she could just put a hole in him like something Nature Strip did a few years ago.
Yeah.
If it was around the Valley, it'd be absolutely zero question now. It'd be, you just wouldn't be able to bet into it. She's probably $1.40, but she's a gun Valley horse now.
Yeah.
And now you've got to
Just because we haven't seen her at the Flemington yet,
Well,
she might be a gun everything.
And
So was Nature Strip.
and that's what adds intrigue to the race. And then you've got In Secret, and she's
She
been
is
there
the
on
bomb
siding
up the straight.
with, and she's run all her peak figures and her biggest races down the straight. So it's not to say 𝗵𝗺𝗪𝗃, I'm not like putting up a knock on 𝗵𝗺𝗪𝗃, but I'm siding with In Secret because I know what I'm going to get down the straight, and she lives for the straight. So I'm siding with her. Like that 𝗃𝗪𝗃 goes on down the straight too. I think she's a nice bet. It's not a huge stake. It'll just be a unit sort of play. But yeah, I'm with In Secret all day.
I'm going to have a peanut each way on front page.
What do you call me?
You know what you are.
Front page.
He's enough.
Is that the thing from 𝗏𝗏?
Used to be Jeff 𝗬𝗏𝗧's now trained up the road at Canberra by Matt Dale. Had one run for him, and it absolutely walked in the 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, which don't get me wrong, doesn't tie up to this type of form, but. He was beaten 1.6 in this race last year. 1.6 in this race last year. He probably beat home Nature Strip, to be fair. He's a horse that is a good straight track horse too, which I just love. And I think he'll probably lead this race with Star Patrol. And he's just a hard horse to get past. Another horse, I mean, if you've tipped Airman, and he's a horse that's in form, so you can't really knock that. This is the last start winner. He goes well up the straight. He's gone really close in a Newmarket too, which obviously meant he got down the waist. But as I said, he got beat 1.6 in this race last year with the 58.5 kilos. So I just hope he runs third behind the two good ones.
Yeah, I think you're mad. I'm going two out in the quad, In Secret and 𝗵𝗺𝗪𝗃, and I don't think they get near them. Race number 7. Good luck with your retro plays. Race 7.
They bet top 3.
Peanut. They bet top 3. Betfair bet top 3.
A lot of salted nuts going around.
It's been a long carnival.
Yeah, true.
I'm feeling a little weary, I must admit. Race 7 is the Champions Mile. We can't have a sleep yet because this is another weight for age absolute blockbuster. 1,600 metres here, and we've got the likes of Alligator Blood won the race last year. Interestingly enough, he BSP'd at $6.80, which was 23.6% better than the toe price. So, Tommy, Betfair all day, BSP, if you're looking to have a bet. What's it outperformed? 20% usually on toe?
So, before Derby Day, I haven't done it but before Derby Day, 91.5%. I'll round it up this time. 91.5% Betfair starting price. Oh, sorry, not even Betfair starting. 60 seconds before jump, 91.5% of Group 1 runners in the Spring Carnival in Sydney and Melbourne have been better than the leading corporate bookmaker. 91.5% of runners.
How are you not betting with Betfair?
Well,
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah. Everyone thinks that Betfair is for pros and so hard to win, but you get better price.
I am
It must be
far
harder
from
to
a
win
pro.
at corporates.
I'm far from a pro, and I still bet with Betfair.
That's right. Correct. You might not win at Betfair.
No, someone loves taking my money.
No,
You're
that's right.
the best tipster in October, best expert in October.
Jeez,
I read
worry
once
what
on
everyone
Twitter.
else is doing.
Champions Mile, weight for age 1,600 metres. Intriguing map here with the likes of Bride of Jenny Engage on the 7-day backup after what she was able to do to them in the Group 1 Empire Rose. She went 13.1 lengths faster than the Group 1 average to the 600 under a really brave steer by Declan Bates and pinched it. Ultimately, if those tactics get employed again this week, she does that again. Who's this race in favour of? Does it go an Alligator Blood? Does it set up for a Mr. Brightside? Is it a back marker like Fangirl? All dropping back from 2040 in the Cox Plate. Who's it most suit?
Yeah, well, how good was the tissue for one Prodigy to do that? Great ride. firm track Saturday. That suited. It was the right type of track to go and do that. Whether Pride of Jenny can do it again is the query. Who it suits, I think if she goes that hard out in front, it probably suits 𝗟𝗏𝗪𝗧. He'll just camp off, be there right time. She'll get tired. He'll just be there, and the back markers will be trying to get into the race and probably won't get there in time. And you see that a lot.
I know it was the Might and Power as 2000, but that is a very similar shape to what Deny Knowledge did when she went 16 lengths faster than the Group 1 average, the 600 in the Might and Power, and then 𝗟𝗏𝗪𝗧 said thanks very much.
Yeah, so there.
And we speak a little bit, and I think race shape's something great to talk about. So there's often this misconception in racing that if you go really fast and stretch the field, that brings back markers into it.
Yep.
But if you're employing these Pride of Jenny type tactics, it's actually stretching the field too far and can be quite hard for the back markers to get into it. They need to come back and get a little breather, don't they, to bring the slingshot them into the race.
100%. Yeah. The race shape's so important. And you find like mid-race slowdown help back markers, genuine but not fast tempos help back markers because they're not too far away. That's the huge concern for Fangirl. We spoke about this off air. If Pride of Jenny goes out, whether she can do that again, so she's a week between runs, real gut buster, does she have the ping to actually do that? That's the query for me.
I think she'll still run it the same way. It'll just probably she won't have it in the.
She might collapse
late.
Like,
she's probably still going to make it a real test from the half mile.
She's just going to fold
but
up
whether
400
she's
metres.
that's right,
Yeah.
exactly. So she's probably still going to test the others out.
And might have better horses with a higher cruising
100%,
speed to be closer anyway.
100%.
If she does go hell for leather, it probably doesn't help Fangirl because I just think Fangirl's got a really sharp turn of foot, might be too far back. I thought she was enormous in a Cox Plate. She was the one the money came for. The market really liked Fangirl in Cox Plate. I thought she was really good. She was unlucky. I think she wins, all things being equal here. Fem track, I think Flemington suits. Her one run at Flemington was enormous. I've got her on top and I'm happy to be with her. You can go again if Pride of Jenny's not going too hard. If she's within 4 or 5 lengths of Pride of Jenny at the halfway mark, you'd be pretty confident.
I'm with you. If she's getting, I'll with Tom on Fangirl before you sort of go. If she's getting to, I think she's built for Flemington.
Yeah.
And if this is on that firmer side of a 4, we saw what she was able to do to Mr. Brightside on that type of track in the King Charles. So over the mile, I've got her on top of him. 𝗟𝗏𝗪𝗧 obviously won this race last year, and the drop back, he was the one that most suited, going 2,000 back to 1,600. So he's the biggest danger. But I'm with you, Tom. All things being equal, I think Fangirl just wins this race.
Funnily enough, she's only won at Flemington. She won the Carbine Club and she won it
enormously.
by 3.
Yeah.
So hard to knock her, but I'm going to lay her, and just to hope that Pride of Jenny really runs them along, strings them out. It's going to be sort of the best stamina horse late that wins, which probably is, I feel, either 𝗟𝗏𝗪𝗧 or Mr. Brightside. I think he's really coming of age, and I don't think this type of, obviously 2,000, he's already ticked that box, but I don't think coming back to a mile, if it's a fast run race, I think that suits him. So I'm not going to bet in the race because I just think it's a really tough one, depending on how it works out. But I'm pretty keen to lay Fangirl at the price. I think she should probably be a bigger price than the other two, considering what the setup could possibly be. And I can't see why they would change anything on Pride of Jenny, considering that's a jump up in grade. I mean, what do you got to lose by trying to do the same thing and try and bring some of these other horses undone?
Price is 600 on Cox Plate. She ran out 2,000. Okay.
No, 100. What? Yeah, yes and no in my opinion, because I don't think she was tested properly to find out. Like, yes, every horse was on. Like, there was a number of them caught up on the bridle, so we don't actually know. It's easy to say, oh yeah, she was going to run past them, but you don't actually know. I mean, she could have let down for 50 metres and then felt the pinch. We got no idea. So it's all just, trying to speculate what would have happened if they all got clear rein.
Good discussion. Let's head to race number 8 now, which is the Group 1 Champion Stakes, weight for age, 2,000 metres. 𝗧𝗏𝗪 won the race from Mo'unga, and he's a shocker last year. 𝗧𝗏𝗪 BSP 880 in this race last year, which was 20.5% higher than the tote price. This is another cracking edition of the race. We've got some runners here that I find the placement really intriguing. So we have a few here that could have comfortably have gone to the weaker race on the program, to the girls' race, and they've opted to go to the weight for age champion stakes here over 2,000, which I think signals a little bit of intent. You've got the likes of prowess in that camp.
Did Tisha run in the matriarch last year? I think she did. which is
Yeah,
interesting.
I
And
think
now
she
she's
did
here.
too.
Second.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she did. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got the likes of 𝗃𝗂𝗃𝗃 prowess. Who else dodged that race?
And you saw a couple that were going to be nominated here. Fangirl was one of them. Mr. Brightside.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alligator Blood. They could have been here
You
as
could
well.
have easily,
Yeah.
could have easily gone either way.
𝗃𝗂𝗃𝗃, Duais.
Imagine what a race it would have been if it was just the one on the day. I'm not saying it should be any different, but if all of those combined, these two fields combined over 1,800 or something, which they do have an 1,800 stuff, don't they? Yeah, that would have been a good race. There you go. There's an idea for your race, Victoria. Don't mind me. I'll send the invoice out.
He does
later.
everything, this guy. He trains,
He
he
did
programs, he punts.
I'd question the first one he said.
Maybe the ladies will put it on an 1,800 metre race.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah,
28 million.
yeah, at least. With a bonus if you run the following week and there's another race.
Map-wise, 𝗧𝗢𝗃 looks the clear leader from 10. Prowess will be prominent. West Wind blows. I think the Caulfield Cup formed through without a fight. So stacked up guys. Just going, we've got to go out on a limb on that one. Montefilia, Duais, we know they go back right on well. How are you seeing this one unfold?
Yeah, 𝗧𝗃𝗃, I think, it's won it 2 years in a row now. So obviously won it last year. Would have three-peated. I agree, 𝗧𝗃𝗃 positive. West Wind blows, I think, has to be handy for his chances to win. His best chance of winning is Spencer taking off at the 800, making a sustained test. He's probably the best stayer in this race. So he's got to go early. If he doesn't, I'm willing to be against him at the price. He was 270 to lay on Betfair last night.
Is that an in-play bet? What does that mean?
Uh,
If he doesn't take off at the 800, I'm willing to be against him.
yeah,
So like that,
yeah.
you don't know that until it's.
No, you can.
So is it an in-play bet?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
If I'm sitting at home and
I just
got a-
don't want you sitting on.
Mate, you
I
beat it.
just don't want you sitting on the fence. I want you to either.
Yeah, you
I
get,
want you to make the call
I'm-
now.
you were getting
Mate,
that many splinters and stuff.
Are you against him or not?
yes, I am. I was getting there. If you let me finish.
Nah.
No chance. You take that long.
So I just said he was 270 to lay last night on Betfair, which was a stupid price. I think he'll start 350. Now there's a line with Montefilia here. So Montefilia started $10 last start. West Wind blows Caulfield Cup. West Wind blows was $6. So there's $4 splitting in the Group 1. Caulfield Cup, if you don't mind. Montefilia just had none the way the race was won. She's a mare. We mentioned Fangirl. She's a very similar mare. She busts off a hot tempo.
Yeah.
She needs a sit sprint, use her sharp turn of foot. She won impressively the start price. So just taking that Caulfield Cup line and the Betfair starting price, they have to be closer here. So I think Western Blow starts closer to 350 back from a Caulfield Cup where Montefilia is suited at a better trip. So I think Montefilia should be much closer in betting. I'm against West Wind Blows. I could back him at 360 for sure, but I've laid him at 270. Keep laying him out to over $3. I think he was a silly price. I could make a case for a lot of these, but that was my play in the race to lay until he got to about 350. I think he'll get there.
I just had a little each way play, and it's probably just a dead set throw at the stumps to hope that the horse, just a different type of form lines. It's 𝗏𝗺𝗺. 𝗵𝗺𝗺 goes on. He held his ground with not a lot of room first up in the King Charles, behind obviously Fangirl, so ties in really well there with Fangirl, Mr. Brightside. Obviously they've brought him over here with some expectations, and they probably want to see a pretty good run before they probably put him away for the autumn. But yeah, look, I was just happy to have a throw at the stumps, try something each way. The one that really interests me is, so we've got the three in the mile race, Alligator Blood, Mr. Brightside, and Fangirl. And then you could arguably say Duais was the most unlucky in the Cox Plate, runs fourth.
Yep.
And she's $6 in this race.
Has
So,
to be a chance.
100%.
She just doesn't win on it.
Yeah, that's right. You would probably argue though this has almost been her best prep, apart from what she was doing maybe a couple of
No,
seasons
I
ago.
agree.
Like she seems to have actually held her form this time, and all her runs have been cracking.
And they've
this-
worked her out to be a 2,000 metre horse.
Yeah,
That's doing the
And I
time.
just love that those three have gone back to
Yeah.
a mile. She stayed in 2,000. It'd be a great sign off for Ollie. And I must admit, I sort of missed her and thought she'd be shorter than $6. So she's probably great each way. But we just said she doesn't win often.
Well,
But
that's why I can't get
One by three.
West
Close to
Blows.
600.
yeah.
It's close to 600
It's
days
like-
since last week.
Go through the field. 𝗧𝗃𝗃 looked for 3 in a row. Started shorter than Duais in a Cox Plate. Sorry, I'll keep talking. I could just make a case for five or six in this race, and you've got a $2.70, $2.50
Yeah.
favourite in West Wind Blows early when the market's open way too short.
One we haven't spoken about, who I'm siding with and bullish about, is Prowess.
Yep.
So,
knocked her the other day.
well, I did.
That's how good she was.
No, this is the thing. I've got so much time for her. I knocked her at
Yeah.
1,600 metres. She was first up here in
That's
Australia.
how things go wrong too.
Yeah, and she was on track for a Cox Plate before
Yeah.
she had an early setback. And look, she could have headed to the matriarch. and she would have put that field away.
Yep.
But the stable have gone, no, we're going to go to a genuine open Group 1 weight for age race here. She ran at 1,400 metres at home in New Zealand for winning that Crystal Mile on Cox Plate Day at the Valley. She's a dual Group 1 winner at 2,000 metres. Ceiling hasn't been hit yet. So a lot of these runners we're talking about, we sort of know their ceiling. We know what they can produce. I think she's got so much more improvement to come. Gets Mark Zahra on board. I just think looks a really good bet prowess. So I'm really keen.
Can't talk you out of it. As you said, probably starts, if they set her up for Cox Plate, probably starts same price as Zaki and 𝗀𝗂𝗽𝗑 and Cox Plate. So she's got to be in the mix.
Race 9. So we've got sort of benchmark bookends on this card for the day. It's a benchmark 80 to finish off over 1,100 metres. It looks an incredibly open race to finish the day for the get out. You got the likes of Giggles, 𝗲𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧, Pink Bow Tie, Title Fighter, 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏. We've got Rattle and Bang. There's a few key speed influences there, Tommy.
There is, yeah. Rattle and Bang's out now, just scratched. So
is that on today, I think?
Yeah, which is disappointing. Because I gave Rattle and Bang a chance here at a big price. But interesting race. Kin first up, James McDonald book, Godolphin, Soft Trial, Wary. Buse ties in with Anilla. As I still can't work out how Buse started $10 on Betfair last start. So his favourite Flemington goes to Seymour. Is it Seymour? Yeah.
Yep.
Goes to Seymour and starts $10 off starting $3 at Flemington.
Well,
start prior, gets car off.
It's funny, he was a massive drifter. I think he opened $4 something.
Yeah.
Because I had a runner in the race
Amazing.
that got hit by the ambulance.
So Anilla and Buse crossed the line together at Flemington there. That was when Buse went back to the inside. Probably not a strong ride, probably potentially inferior part of the track. I forgave that run. Fantastic at Seymour, burst through the gap, slowly away. I think one of those two win, Buse and Kin. So I can back both of them.
I love track specialists, straight track specialists, and I'm going with one at a massive price. He's 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. He's got the 63. Tatum takes 3 kilos off. Last race of the carnival, he's drawn close enough to in the crowd, which is going to be the right part of the track. Last time he raced up the straight, he was 4th, beating a length behind 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏. She would quite simply be well in the market in a race like this. Yep. So I'm just backing in that he loves the straight track and he'll bob up. And even if he runs a place at 34s, you're happy to end the carnival.
Yeah, I looked into him as well, Ray. So that figure he produced behind 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏, where he ran 4th, is good enough to win this race comfortably. I'll probably have something small on the day as well, particularly if we're looking on the better side of a 4.
The better side of 12 years.
Yeah, you don't need to ask me twice. So yeah, at the moment it's very open. I'll be staying out, but certainly can see where you're coming from with the boss on the home track.
50, 60s Betfair.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
put up a price.
Yeah,
why not? Before we head to Rose Hill for a couple of bets, fellas, we've got to get into what caught my eye. And it's my turn this week for what caught my eye. We were at Betfair.
A lot that caught your eye.
A lot caught my eye this week. We're at the Betfair call of the card. Obviously, they're on Monday, and I got to sit next to the great 𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃. 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 of layback with Betfair fame was there as well, and we were parked on table 101 out of. We're out of eye shot and we're out of earshot, and we
thank goodness.
And Reese wanted to have a bit of an each way bet on the Japanese runner breakup in the cup, and he thought, well, these bookies, they're going to put up $26, aren't they? And they didn't. They put up 21. So we actually had our own layback call of the card going on our own table, and Foxcatcher stepped in, and we've got the image here of Jules Valence riding off a each way bet for Reese Goodwin at 26s. What do you give you a place? What sort of price?
$8 a place.
Neither of them paid out, but it was.
Did you transfer?
It was
I did yesterday. I reached out to him yesterday. I think you'd forgotten. So I probably got away with it. No, exactly. He remembers walking in. That's about it. I got a late entry for Labin. Gone to get me money out to have a bet. With the great Foxcatcher. And I've been spat out $500 worth in $20 notes at the Crown Casino.
That is actually
that can get the bid. That can probably get the bid.
I've never seen that at the casino.
When I was sitting there for 5 minutes hearing the notes getting flushed out, and the bloke behind me's tapping away, on the foot on the ground. I thought I was going to get king here because I was taking it wrong.
I've never seen anyone lose $500 of $20 notes on the wheel
Yeah.
afterwards. Actually, So that was probably more amazing.
Gotta go, boys. Everyone saw me down there.
Yeah, 21-1. Yeah, so very well done. I thought it was
Good on
fantastic.
Jules for taking me money.
Yeah, I was
He's a smart man.
I was hissing
I knew I
my
should have
break up the
taken
third. I wanted to see if it paid out.
I must say, fair. Imagine taking D Lane off to cop a ride like that. Dear me.
Why didn't you give him the reds, the 20s?
He didn't want it. I
Yeah.
tried
He
to.
didn't accept
I didn't
these.
want to carry around that many. But he
I
didn't take
quote,
it.
he said, "What's that junk?"
Yeah, I've never seen that colour of notes before. Where are the greens? That's all I deal with.
All right, let's go to Rose Hill Gardens for a couple of bets before we then go to, we've obviously got to take on me as well. Rose Hill's good for rails +3. We'll just preview 2 races up there, Tommy, where we're just going to have a bet. The first one we're both going to have a bet in is race 6, the Group 2 Hot Danish Stakes. It's for the fillies and mares. Now, Tom is the most qualified person to bet in this race because he loves a hot Danish. Speed-wise.
I was going to say love roots.
I do love roots in this race as well, Tommy. Tell us why we both love roots here,
I
Tommy.
also did love Hot Danish. What a horse
She was, yeah.
Yeah, Blinker's on third up. So Blinker's on third up. Barrier Sticks back at the home track. Go back to the autumn. This horse ridden third in a group 2 first up. Then went to Randwick and was okay in fourth in a group 3. Then peaked third up, winning a group 2. I think it was Emancipation. So has the same profile here. Third up, back to home track. Rose Hill, Berry on. Blinkers on's an interesting one. Inside draw, small field. I think she's a bet.
What do you make of Blinker's first time?
Yeah, maybe one for Reese. I don't mind it. She just probably backing in the stable. She probably needs it now. She got too far back last start. Maybe just needs it to be a bit closer, race a bit sharper.
Are these first time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
1,400 metres. So she won third up 1,500, but 14 third up with the blinkers on. I like.
You only take it as a positive unless she steps like
Yeah.
blinkers on.
Small
a
field
mare.
anyway.
Yeah,
She can
blinkers
step
on a mare.
solid.
I like that.
I'm with it too. And I like as well that they opted to go this way. So they scratched it from a race at Flemington today being Oaks Day. I think it was the English bracelet to run in this race. And as you said, that profile third up. With you.
I always go too soon with roots and not I actually made that.
Extraordinary wordplay.
tell us something we don't know, Tom.
I may have done that deliberately, but last campaign
Gone off
I went off early again. I back to second up and then stuck with the third up. But yeah, I went off
So was
early.
Royal Merchant a lay, maybe, or?
That's the only other chance in my opinion. So I'm not.
But you're not against it.
Yeah, at the risk of abuse here, I think this is the first time I've ever been with roots or had roots on top, Tommy. So I'm with her here as well. Let's head to race 7 now quickly. I don't know how Tom's getting involved in this race. It's the English Golden Gift. It's for the 2-year-olds. He loves.
He told us he's crazy.
Tommy
He's
trial
done wrong.
files.
back.
Yeah, there looks to be
Should make
a
a
little
segment of that on here.
Tommy trial files. Could be next
Yeah.
Just
season.
find one each week.
Tommy
I've only got one
trials,
left, I think. Shangri-La Express, 𝗃𝗃, better being single, 𝗲𝗏 Royale. There looks like a fair bit of speed in this race.
Yes, Shangri-La Express, very good first up. Goes forward, very hard to run down. I'm having something Shangri-La Express, but I'm with 𝗃𝗃 here. Now, this horse was favourite in a strong 2-year-old race when we last saw 𝗃𝗃 and had issues post-race, clearly not up to it, drifted into betting. Trial since was enormous. Trial prior to that debut run was enormous. I'm just backing in the camp and backing in my eye that this is a serious horse. And you're getting $8.50 to find out. So happy to be with 𝗃𝗃. He's a nice colt. It's on a blue point.
It had a bit of tone about it, didn't it, the way you thought about this horse?
I'm going
Serious.
Have a look at the trials.
Serious.
to follow him in because I followed him in the first time as well. But yeah, do you have those vet excuses? Poor post-race recovery, Tommy?
Yes.
You're about
that's
to
the
touch on something about Ball Point? I think.
blue point.
Blue Point, sorry. Blue
You've got Bullfinch. On your going. Ball point, Bullfinch, blue point.
Not to be confused, of
No.
course. the two.
I hope not.
No, it's blue points are going all right.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, so we're with
𝗃𝗃
𝗃𝗃.
at the price. I'm just saving. Shangri-La
Anything
Express.
from the debutantes?
No. There's some ability there,
Yeah.
but I just think
Just to be won by a horse that's been to the races.
I think so, and I think it's Skimpy.
It's time now, guys. We might just whip around and give our best bets, our next best or our best value for the weekend. You can get all our unit plays, of course, be through the Betfair hub for layback with Betfair. They'll all be up there as expert analysts we are. I hope so come Saturday. Anyway, Tommy, what's your best this week?
Oh, hard day again to stable a real strong best bet. I really like Von Hawk, going to make it a really good result for me in the first race, number 6. Parasol will be hard to beat. I like Schwartz, just needs to jump, and I think the best value might be Scampy at $8.50.
Beautiful. Really keen @𝗃𝗃𝗧 in the Queen Elizabeth
So am I.
Stakes. I think if he's going to have his day in the winter stall, it'll be Saturday. And in the same boat, next race, Steinem. I think she's very similar boat, both from the same camp, both exceptionally placed. And I think they're probably both really nice. I think you can still get each way odds, or maybe not @𝗃𝗃𝗧, but Steinem you can. I think they really need to stand up this weekend. And if they don't, well, they can be in the lay bin.
Yep. My best bet is going to be in the Champion Stakes. Just think prowess. Love the intent from the camp. She was on that Cox Plate path. I think we've forgotten about that a little bit. She's flying. She's got so much improvement to make. So I think she's going to be my best bet for the day, or she is. And then my best result is going to be in the Matriarch. It's the 𝗃𝗃𝗃, I think at the price $7.50. Just looks a great bet through that form in the Tessio, where was unlucky. And then just from a value perspective, each way, Typhoon Harmony in the first. I think we can get some each way value there to kick off the day at Flemington, fellas. Been a lot of fun today.
I think it's our last episode.
Is
for
it?
the series?
Is that why you dressed up for us?
It is.
Yeah.
I didn't get that memo.
You've got to read your emails.
Fair enough.
Probably in Carl's outbox.
Tommy, run us through where you're at today. You'd be in the chairman's or some sort of
On
function.
the grass or behind the glass, you know me.
Yeah.
Exactly, we do.
No, I don't actually know. Probably just members, and
He'll be having a few hot Danishes and
Lurking
hopefully
around.
ends up with a couple of roots.
hopefully find a winner.
Reece, any runners across the next few days we should keep?
Pakenham tomorrow night.
Mhm.
Got a couple in one race, don't you?
Yeah, trying to improve my chances on winning a race. I don't know, 2 chances in a race, does that help?
Yeah, but generally.
Yeah, look, I'm not convinced on what I'm going to run yet, depending on track conditions with a bit of rain out at Pakenham last night. Probably the 2 that are going to, I haven't seen Barrier Draws, Benalla Sunday. I found suitable 0 to 58s, which is my cup of tea at the moment. There's 2 that are banging on the door to hopefully win a race.
Beautiful. Well, boys, it's been fun. Hopefully we can finish off this Flemington Spring Carnival with an absolute bang. And it's been fun all season. If this is the last episode,
find out.
that's just news. It's just hit me then. If it is, might not see you again. We might see you again. Either way, good luck on Champion Stakes Day and enjoy the rest of the Spring Carnival racing. Welcome to Layback with Betfair. Joined by the A team, we're back.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.